Yeah, yeah. Welcome to the Theory Expo. Right now, we're here to talk about the most recent episode of Secret Invasion, episode 5, Harvest.
Yeah, the harvest. Yeah,
Yeah,
harvest.
episode. Um,
Very
for an
interesting.
episode 5, I don't got so I've got the data in front of me, right? I don't got the data in front of me, but it feels like for an episode 5, it probably was one of the shorter
Yeah, it
episodes.
seemed like
5.
it. Seemed like it. Yeah,
I
it
think
wasn't.
we kept talking last week, and we were
We
like,
always
"Oh,
talk
this
about how
episode."
that episode 5 is like usually 45 minutes to an hour sometimes, or at least
Yeah,
45 minutes. I would say maybe not an hour, but 45 minutes is like what we usually get. I don't think we got that this time. I want to say
yeah, and I
like
think
35 minutes.
yeah, I was think it was 37, something like that. But I think that falls into like what may be potentially we probably, like you say, it's probably was 35 by actual runtime. I think this season, this show, we were just talking offline, but for good or for bad, right? I don't know if it's good or if it's bad. But one thing this Marvel show has done is they cut out a lot of the fluff. There's not a lot of fluff. It's not like, because all those other episodes, and maybe that was us, but like episode 5 was like, hey man, okay, so we way past half. Y'all got a lot of things to wrap up, and it'll be like 2 episodes left, and we would get like this dramatic episode 5 or this major reveal for whatever that show deemed, right? Would be the major reveal. Hell, even with WandaVision, it was a 9-episode show, and I think in episode 8, now we got back to the reason she liked sitcoms, and now we got back to the reason she would do this, and why the reason she even created the Hex. We was 8 episodes in before we got that penultimate episode. For this one, it's not that deep of a show, right? It's like they've lay like, look, this is the story. This is the story.
Mhm.
This is what this about. These are my plans. There's nothing we've been holding in, like, it's in terms of story wise, and there's not a lot of explaining we got to do. You might be guessing, you might be looking like, is that a scroll? Let's go such and such. I'm sure we still got things still like hanging in the air if we trying to pause on the way it was in the air. But we got things that we might be trying to figure out. But ultimately, it's not because the like we getting the sleight of hand from the show. It's been
Yeah,
it's been clean that way, right? Like, look,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So they
pretty
didn't have a
clear.
lot.
Yeah,
They didn't have a
yeah. We're
lot
not
to
trying to really
unravel.
guess a lot. We just sort of just
Yeah,
waiting. And that's where you kind of want to be, man. You at this point in the show, at least.
yeah.
You don't really want to be, like you said in the past of the other shows. By this point, we'll be like, okay, episode 5 is sort of like finally bring us up to snuff on what's really going on. But here, we kind of just, there's no mysteries here. There's just, okay, what's the next? All right, now let's see the finale now.
yeah.
So I
And
feel
that's
better about this finale going after this.
100%. There's nothing in this finale they could potentially, they could still be trash, but there's not. It's not from
Yeah,
a story standpoint,
yeah. I'm not
right?
gonna
Or
feel
like,
cheated. You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
I get the feeling where, well, at least like you said, it could be trash. But I don't think in by the time when we wrap up episode 6, I'm gonna feel like, well, what about? So y'all just ain't gonna never tell us about what happened to? It's more so gonna be like, oh, okay, that was the story they wanted to tell. I think they did a good job with that. They told the story they want to tell.
Yeah. So yeah, let's kind of do the recap of the episode, and then we'll give our thoughts after. The episode starts with Fury getting the president to the hospital, where the doctors tell him to stay outside, while he sees on the news that eyewitnesses spotted Talos helping to save the president. Despite having killed Talos, Gravik plan still took a hit. And that leads to Pagon, his right-hand man, questioning his leadership. A little scuffle ensues. It really wasn't a scuffle. Gravik just lashes out at him and kills Pagan in front of all the other rebel warriors.
Smoke.
Yeah, he then orders Vera's death, and they hop to it, but it's clear that many of the rebels, including the guy we saw in the first episode, I think his name was Beto, they really no longer trust or feel in Gravik, right? They kind of panned in on him. Gravik then calls Skrull Rhodey, who's on his way to the hospital to see the president. He tells Skrull Rhodey to keep the president alive and inform him that the attack was by the Russians with the help of the Skrulls. He also tells Skrull Rhodey to reveal the location of new Skrulls to the president, so in the hopes that U.S. Army, U.S. military will have a strike on Russian soil. Skrull Rhodey is shocked because it risks all the Skrulls and new Skrulls, but Gravik says he will use the potential strike as leverage against Fury. And if that fails, they will all have to just sacrifice themselves for the greater good. So now we done crossed the line with Gravik. This sidebar, because I just did I just did an Obi rewatch.
Yeah.
I hope they don't Reva
Oh
Gravik.
man. Yeah, please.
Like when you watch when I watched
in what sense?
Meaning Reva was evil. She was consumed by the dark side.
Yeah.
Right. So even when she thought she had an opportunity to get Vader and he went on ahead and took her out, he should have took her out. And like there was no coming back from being consumed. What you were consumed by ultimately got you. Right. And I hope he don't be like at the end like, well, I just my people and like he ready to risk his hope. He's like the evilest. He all the way bad. So let him be that.
Let him be that.
No talking him off the ledge.
No
having the bomb at the end.
No, I don't need a scene with him looking Fury in his one eye like son, you were like a son to me.
Why'd you leave that?
Or we did find a planet.
Yeah.
You know, it's like no.
Yeah.
Let him go down with the ship.
Let him go down. He don't have no nuance.
The man killed Pagan like it was nothing.
That was his man's.
That was his man, little man's in there, man, second in command. And he iced him out of there like he was nothing. You know what I mean? And so Skrull Rhodey probably second in command, but still, Pagan was like his guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was on the ground.
Like nothing.
Yeah. So let him.
There needs to be consequences. There needs,
yes,
to becoming a super Skrull, right? Yeah.
So moving on at the hospital, Fury's waiting on Skrull Rhodey, pulling a gun up on the Skrull spot. However, Skrull Rhodey reveals that they leaked the video of Fury killing Maria Hill to the press, and now that makes Fury the most wanted man on the planet. Fury has no choice but to leave, with Rhodey in quotations, threatening to unleash the entire Secret Service on him if he ever gets there to president again. He was talking slick. Like I ain't got his quotes, but he was talking slick, right? Skrull Rhodey sassy.
Yeah.
Skrull Rhodey sassy.
Super sassy.
Yeah. After he killing that part though, I give him that.
Yeah, he is, man. That's the best we done seen Don Cheadle in years.
Yeah, Skrull Rhodey a woman, and like he's able to like blend that without like being, he's not being extra, but he's sassy as hell, man. Like he definitely is.
He like a younger Skrull, right? Like he from that generation that Gravik from. He ain't from the Vera generation. He like
no.
He very much up on like current day vernacular.
He even told him earlier, like you won't go to all this smoke. Yeah, you gonna get all this smoke. Something there, whatever he said. He said it fluently, like
all the smoke.
Yeah, he said it fluently, man. Like
this Skrull done been, the Skrull.
Like he got attitude.
The Skrull grew up in Brixton, you know what I mean? On the, she been around things, you know what I mean? She
been around things.
Yeah, she been around things,
he was on that. She was on the island that T'Challa and old girl was laying up when they had his son. They was over there
up in Haiti.
She
was in Haiti or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. They was over there. But moving on, we catch up with Sonya in London, where she meets her boss. With being a Skrull, she outs him, the director, as a Skrull and forces him to reveal the location of Dr. Rosen Dalton, the scientist who's running the Super Skrull experiment. Back at New Skrullos, Beto and some other warriors approach Gravik. While they're talking, Skrull calls Gravik and informs that the president is out of surgery. As he's talking on the phone, the rebels gang up on Gravik and try to kill him. They even got the plastic bag over the face action. Seems like that wouldn't do nothing to a Skrull, but yeah, they got the plastic bag over the face action. Super Skrull at that. But with his skills and his new powers, Gravik takes them all down. Beto's the last one left, and he publicly executes him as a show of strength. Beto dies, telling Gravik that he's nothing but a monster. Yeah, I'm telling you, he all the way gone. I do not want to see no redemption. Fury heads to go to Fury's head, and he went back to that safe house in Brixton. The one that we saw, I think it was the first episode, might have been the second. That one when he recruited him and Talos recruited all the Skrulls. Where he finds Gaia waiting for him. He gives her a lesson in the history of Brixton and attempts to talk to her about Talos' death, but she stops him. She tells Fury that she ran away from her father because she knew he would lose, but Fury argues that Talos did not lose. He chose the path of struggle. I think that tied into the story that he was telling. Fury tells Gaia that she cannot let grief paralyze her and reveals that Talos told him she was a Super Skrull now. Gaia reveals that Gravik only has a few DNA samples, but he's really looking for something called the harvest, a name Fury recognizes. He perked up when he heard that.
Yeah. Gaia
says that she needs to bury her father, and Fury gives her his keys, telling her that take him to Priscilla. Police arrive, and Fury has to leave to Finland. Out of all places, all right. We're back with Sonya, who was savage, by the way.
Yeah.
She pulls up on Dr. Rosa Dalton and her husband, Victor. at her private lab, immediately making clear that she knows they're Skrulls. With their agents holding them at gunpoint, she questions Rosa, asking her about asking her about the machine she built for the Skrull. After their conversation, Shuri has her agents take the Daltons, burning down her lab. Victor attempts to break free, putting the gun in Rosa's head and threatening to kill her. But Sonya calmly shoots him instead. We back with Gaia. Gaia takes Talos's body to Priscilla's home, where she finds the older Skrull waiting for Gravik's rebels. At first, she thinks Gaia is working for Gravik, but she tells her who she really is, asking for help to bury her father. Back at the hospital, the president is awake, and Rhodey meets with him, telling him that the Skrulls are working with Russia, and he's received corroborated evidence from Sonya. Rhodey shows the president the location of New Skrulls and said they need to destroy it, promising the support of other NATO powers, which we know are other NATO powers are under their Skrulls are in charge, right? Skrulls are in place. The president is hesitant as a strike on Russian Sonya would mean the start of World War III, but Skrull Rhodey convinces him to do it, saying that a Skrull invasion would mean the extinction of humanity, which ain't a lie. Now we had a warehouse. Gravik calls Fury, offering him a deal. He tells the old spy master, about the strike, and says that he will call the whole thing off if Fury brings him the harvest in person. Fury clearly anticipated this, as he is already catching a flight on the private jet to Finn. This is the point where we get that cameo from I think his name Rick Mason. He was in Black Widow.
Yeah, goofball.
Yeah, connected goofball. Fury
hard. Yeah, he's just giving Fury a hard time. I'm like, man, Fury, bro. I know we both agree that this pretty much Fury, but it's like, man, the real Fury would have been like, push this dude up out of the plane, man. What you doing, bro? Like up here, yeah, that's been mothballed. So she Fury like,
it's been mothballed because Fury was kind of sad. I wish we still had the helicarrier, and like,
I wish we still had the helicarrier. Yeah, that's been mothballed. So she what?
We was just talking about that cartoon.
Yeah.
Real Fury would have one on each side. Some two dope female. You'll have one dope female spy agent, whatever you want to call them at this point in time. We really haven't established what the new kind of intelligence spy, nasty assassin type of association that they would be. But he would have two bangers on his side. So when Rick started talking that noise, he wouldn't even got this talk slick, because Daisy would have slapped him up, Maria would have clapped him.
With a roundhouse kicked him in his damn nuts or something, man.
He would have, what's her name? Like he would have Yelena. Like Fury would have Yelena, right? Like, Yelena be the one, she would have took over Black Widow's spot. And then he would have he might have got Hawkeye wife out of retirement, like, okay, Mockingbird, come over here. We does this. So we need all these people talking that,
waiting on that.
Yeah, especially since they didn't offed Maria, but he get to talk slick to Fury, because Fury, I wish we had the helicarrier, but that's, again, we'll get there. Outside of Fury's residence, Priscilla and Gaia give Talos a funeral and a touching private ceremony. Gaia says that Talos deserved to have possessions of Myrna's, but Priscilla points out that he's never been one for pageantry. I think, the funeral requires an offering, which Gaia provides her mother's ring. The young Skrull doesn't know the funeral prayer, but Priscilla recites it instead, as Gaia sets fire to her father's she says fire to her father. She bids him a farewell in Skrull language, saying, travel well to your beyond, father. After the funeral, two of them go back inside, and Gaia tells Priscilla that the last thing she told her father was that he was a failure. She comforts her. They share a little chuckle about Fury. Gaia asks Priscilla why she stayed in the house despite Gravik wanting to kill her. Priscilla says that she loves the house, talking about how it was where her and Fury built a life together. Gaia asks her if Fury ever saw Priscilla in her own skin, which offends the older Skrull. Like, that's that younger, older generation stuff they got going on.
A little bit of commentary in there, I think.
Yeah. Priscilla tells her off, then composes herself and says that when it comes to facing down her would-be assassin, she would rather do it here in her own home. At that very moment, the Skrull strike team, Gravik sent attacks, leading Priscilla and Gaia to take cover while they arm up. Despite the army of rebels who come after them, the two Skrulls managed to hold their own to survive. Also noted, Gaia she didn't use any of that new work she got.
No.
She didn't use any of that new work. Now we get in Finland, Fury disguised with that face cloak from S.H.I.E.L.D. You see it in the Captain America, and they always use it in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, cloak. That's how he got through customs, you want to call it. He meets Sonya, who's waiting for him, and comments about how Shield spent billions of dollars on their technology, and he still couldn't get in the sky for more than you. She kind of like talked that fan talk, like, hold on, but you only you only changed your face.
What about
like,
the rest of you?
What about the rest of it? So they, they got a couple meta moments like that in the show. Yeah. Fury says there's a newer version, get the whole body, blah, blah, blah. They then drive off, listening to Audacity by Stormzy. I think that was like, might have been like some British bars or whatever. Back in London. Like, I'm old.
Yeah, you're like a big artist over there.
Yeah, I'm old. Back in London, Priscilla drops Guy off and tells her to be careful. Presumably, we'll find out in the episode what exactly she needs to be careful with. As Fury and Sonya drive towards the Russian border, he asks her why she gave Rhodey the evidence of the scroll base. She is then quite shocked when he reveals that Rhodey is a scroll.
Genuinely shocked.
She was shocked.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. We can talk about that.
We get into it.
Fury explains the Gambit, illustrating how Gravik plans to start World War III. She then asks him about the harvest and reveals that during the events of Avengers Endgame, the Battle of Earth, nearly every Avenger spilled blood. So after the battle was over, Fury sent a secret team of scrolls to collect that DNA led by Gravik. That sounds stupid right there. I mean, like, it was part of the thing, but like now we know, like, yeah, you go do that, little boy. He speculates that that's probably when Gravik came up with his plan to make super scrolls. In other words, Fury is really responsible for the whole team's whole mess that's happened. And that's the real reason why he came back. They arrive at the graveyard to the grave of Colonel Nicholas J. Fury. Apparently, Fury has a few fake graves around the world, and this is one where he hid the harvest. Sonya asks him why he doesn't call the Avengers. Fury said this is personal, and they can't keep depending on superheroes to save the day. Another thing I want to go back about the harvest. One thing they blatantly said is that we got all the DNA, including Carol Danvers. Or did he say Captain Marvel? But they said that specifically.
Right.
They didn't say like including the super soldier. They said including Carol Danvers. All right, just want to make sure I pointed that out. Fury then retrieves the harvest, and Sonya asks him if he's really going to just hand it over to Gravik. Fury gives a cryptic response as always, and steps inside a small building close to the grave. Inside, he activates some secret boxes, reveals one of his iconic his jacket, the eye patch, and a gun. He then suits up and says let's finish this. He really gets on the phone and says let's finish this.
Yeah,
that's how we end the episode. I will say one thing: if I'm gonna critique the show on, Fury should have better music.
That's a good point. Great point.
Fury's theme song should be better.
Absolutely. He should give him the Avengers themes. Give him something better than
he should have something like that.
I agree.
That'd have been John.
Oh yeah.
That'd have been Williams. Yeah. He would have had something that hit. Like Fury, they should have dug up that dude, the dude who did the Avengers theme.
Yeah.
And they said you need to make another. Yeah, he should have something that hit.
Something that hit or that's familiar enough that we'd be like, okay, all right, he back.
Yeah, you know how like I like that when we know when the Wakanda's around, that whoop whoop.
Yeah,
he should have something that hit.
He needs that. Yeah, you're right, man. They cheated him on that end, especially when he came back. When he clearly was back in his.
When he threw that on and threw the thing.
Yeah,
whatever his music would have been, it should have hit right there. And matter of fact, we probably should have been leading up to it. And it built up either at the end of each episode or like each little moment, like, okay, now that's Fury's music.
Let us hear it a little bit in the flashback.
Yeah.
But then clearly we really hear it when he come back, when he put that patch on. Because Fury back, you know what I mean? That's why he like, let's. He was talking to Gravik when he said, let's finish it, right?
That was my first question for you. Yeah. Do you think he was talking that was a direct call to Gravik?
That's a good question.
To say, let's finish this. Because this is the part where we usually fall into the move, like, the kind of the Theory Expo of it. But with the other shows, it was like, oh, okay, this Mephisto, this every little, you know what I'm saying? This is where we're going to get such a such.
Who was he calling?
It was never that. Right. And we just said in the beginning that the show has never been, it was never that, right? It's what they show us it is. So like on his face, he talking to Gravik. On the face of what that's Gravik. Let's finish this. But there's a part of me that's thinking that's not who he was talking about.
I think I know where you're going.
But the easy thing is that he talking to Monica. But I have no reason to know that's why he was talking. I don't have a good.
He could use her help right about now.
Yeah,
he can use somebody who can phase through bullets pretty much.
And we don't have. So when he say let's finish this, right? And he did it on the side away from baby girl, Sonya and all. But he's look for what the show's been showing us is graphic. But I have to believe in my heart of hearts that that's really someone else that he's talking to. I just don't have a strong case I can make for someone. But like, let me go to you. I didn't mean to start talking that much.
Nah, you right on the trail, man. Because I'm thinking the same thing. Like we think that it's graphic because he just spoke to graphic and he made it basically a deal with graphic saying, hey, get this for me, bring it to me, and we can end this. So you kind of think that he's saying, all right, let's end this now. But when you start to think about it, it's like, man, would graphic be the first person that he called? Like coming out of the that little facility, I can't speak, coming out of there like he did. So I would say, like you said, man, you want to say that it's graphic. Chances are it's probably going to be graphic. But part of me want to think like, man, this is where the secret plan that he been enacting from the beginning, which part of me want to say Maria will somehow come back.
That's where I really want to go.
And that's who we talking to is Maria, who been hiding all this time, because it's like, I'm just going off of, just what they did in the past, where they fake deaths in the past. And it's a reason that they do that. They do it because they want to trick you. They want to trick the enemy, I should say. They want to trick the enemy into thinking, okay, I got her out of the way, only for that same character to come back like Fury did in Winter Soldier. He came back later and surprised Robert Redford character. So part of me want to say Maria being a part of this show is gonna come back and help Fury in the finale. So I think it's a chance that it was Maria.
And I noticed that you look for everything. They keep showing at the end of the episode special guest Kobe Smulders, and it's like I don't even know if they did that when they showed Talos again, like secret guest, where they secret or not secret guest, but special guest Kobe Smulders, right? Maria Hill. They show it at every episode. Like we gotta show that for the scene that they show. Like probably the special guest that's gonna come back. Now I don't know how she helped him at the end against a Super Scroll, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like I need somebody with some of that. But
yeah, like the daughter.
Yeah, somebody who got something that that can assist with like taking it, because Fury can't, like they
in a physical battle.
Yeah, there's not a chance.
He's shooting,
Yeah, he had problems with Talos.
Yeah,
in '95, right? '95, Talos was dog walking, so. He couldn't do anything like that now. So he gonna need somebody, but I don't think I think that's the, again, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be like salty if like we get to the next episode and that's exactly who we called. Because that's what the show has been about. And there ain't been no now honestly at this point, anything that happens that'll be like like I thought Sonya was the Queen Scrolls, right? I had her being a Queen Scroll earlier. Right now, I'm just like, nah, she one of his. So like, okay, let's go there. What do we think about Sonya right now? Because she was shocked. She was shocked at that news that
it seemed like the first time she was genuinely shocked, right? About anything.
Like we still don't know. Like maybe they like she was saying she was dealing with her own Scroll infiltration, but I don't know how she was.
Yeah, like
she was catching dudes and knowing that like.
Yeah, when she said that, that's when they showed the old boy that she ended up popping in the hand. So she was kind of on the trail to that dude with, on her own, pretty much without Fury. But we still ain't seen her take a hit yet, No,
none of that.
We ain't seen nothing that would give away. But yeah, that part I think kind of, if you need more confirmation, that was kind of like added to, okay, maybe she probably not a Skrull.
Because there's
she was genuinely shocked, and if she is a Skrull, she got her own plan, Yeah, but she was genuinely shocked when she was like, "Well, Rhodey a Skrull,"
Let's like you say, we always talk about they got factions, and she was already part of that. I guess I just asked the part about she was on the trail of a Skrull, right? That she could see that she started getting that information that somebody on her team was. My question is, how does she know that? Like, what does she have that she can start noticing that people will scroll?
That's a loose string, right? That's a string,
that would be a little, that probably ain't no, but maybe I'm making more out of that than I need to be, but I'm not really convinced how she knows people are scrolls, unless she's getting intel. Like, where's she getting her intel from, right? Because you would seem to need intel to know that somebody, you know what, such and such a scroll, right? Or just that.
And do we know who told her about the safe house? My bad.
No, we don't. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm saying, oh, did we confirm that was Gaia? Did we confirm that was old boy? It wasn't old boy that she was torturing. He told her some other stuff.
Yeah, he
We
told her about
never
the Super
found
Scrolls.
out. Yeah, we never found out exactly who told her about the safe house. You know,
Yeah, because she was like, because he remember in the beginning when she pulled up to the safe house, my man's was like, the guy was like, you ain't basically like, ain't nobody supposed to be here. How you the door was locked? And she like, I should tell you about how I can basically can get to where I need to go. But she just she showed up dolo. She showed up dolo. So that's when I was like, oh, that's Queen Scroll. But like, I don't think this show is going that deep.
Not with one episode to go.
I don't think this show was going that deep to like
they would
be revealing like it was so much. I had it as Gravik was angry and he's the cult leader of this group, but like he's not the one pulling strings, somebody else, but it seems like he is the end all be all. Yeah, he the end all be all.
Well, his plan's been revealed. He's trying to get the harvest, he's trying to get this DNA of all the Avengers, which is just like
let's get to that. Let's talk about that part of it.
Yeah,
that they were that there was a thing that when for that battle, right? Like for that battle, because there's been a lot of battles. At the Battle of New York,
right.
There's a lot of blood there.
Right.
There was the fall of Shield. Every situation they got been a extinction level event, right?
Yeah.
From Thor to Cap to Avenger movies, right? But for this one, maybe because it was so many, that's what they're using that and whatever, right? We can get like, why wouldn't they use this one? Why would they use that one? I'm not gonna call that out. But ultimately, what they're saying was the harvest was they got all these Avengers, all these super beings, and maybe even some people from Thanos' side, like all the people that's around, all that blood. And Fury knew that people in power wanted the DNA samples, collect DNA samples. So Fury beat them to it with his own people. That's the way I understood it.
Okay.
Like that wasn't Fury's plan wasn't to go do it. He knew the others wanted to go do it. Probably like whoever the DOD, what's the rinky dink little Department of Justice thing that Spider-Man was going through. You like them?
Yeah, I think it is like something like DOD or something.
Yeah.
Department of
Damage Control.
Damage Control, DC.
Yeah. I think he was referring to them, but some entity like that. The way I heard it was, they were going to do that. So Fury sent his scrolls to replace them and go get it, and Gravik being one of them, to go get that so that he would have it. And they would, right?
That's the thing too, right? Because we seen that in WandaVision where they collected Vision's body, where his corpse. So that's kind of like a thing where these companies coming in and swooping in and collecting DNA and collecting weapons.
He was gonna weaponize it.
Go back all the way to the Battle of New York. That was the whole plot of Vulture and Homecoming. They was just cleaning up. The Stark people came in and was like, "Nah, we handle this." But looking at this episode, damn, I got so many questions about. I ain't got so many, but I got questions about that. Why? But let me first hold on. Did you just ask me a question, or are we just?
No. I was just kind of like that. The harvest was.
Yeah. So
seems like a pretty big deal.
What do you think that? Why do you think they collected the DNA? I know who you think they collected it for. You said you think it was for DODC. Or it was some other entity. Why though? Because there's no cloning in the MCU, right? Like, what was the purpose you think of preserving this DNA, these blood samples? I'm assuming.
So when you bring up the because there's kind of a precedent in it, even though it was more of a physical body that they had, right, with the Vision, and then seeing what they could do with the Vision, that played a part. Like they were looking to take the Vision and so now we ready to go to work. This may sound stupid, but now we got to ready to work. Now we got to get ready to go to work. Yeah. I don't want to loosely say this is what they're trying to do, but there's a part of this that what they're looking to do is start not clone, but kind of add some genes into people. I'm not saying this is how they want to do X-Men, but they want to experiment on adding this to the people, kind of like a, because then let's talk about like a de facto super soldier serum.
There you
go.
Go.
And they found the guy who could do it. Now they killed him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? He was the guy, but like I doubt his science. My science guy, I doubt my science guy. It's somewhere around. It's always somewhere around in this type. I would imagine that's what they're looking to do. Because I think like we talk a lot that our next move is like, why are we not in Fantastic Four? We should be in Fantastic Four now, but we're not going to Fantastic Four for a while. But we are going to X-Men are showing up in some way, shape, or form. I mean, we got the writer strike, but and I'm not saying this is a direct play. I don't have that all thought out where I could link it up like this is what they're going to do. But what we do have that they already talked about Ms. Marvel. They said she had the mutant gene. We know we got Deadpool, Deadpool coming out, and they doing some wild stuff. We haven't even talked about that. They doing some wild stuff.
They bringing a lot of people.
Emptying the clip.
They are.
Like it looked like your boy over there.
You've seen the leaked images and all that, right?
All that stuff, boy. They not playing. They're not playing like whether it's gonna be good, whether it's gonna be for me. I'm not saying the movie like it's always that line where this might be really too goofy for me. Like it might be a little bit too goofy for me because they might be having too much. Hey man, we having a ball on the set. All right, man, we getting Thor 4, but that's my fear when they say that. I like to say they emptying the clip over there, like they gonna talk about worlds colliding. Yeah, they trying to do what Flash didn't do, right? Like in terms of like we gonna be a success and we gonna have all this Fox world and Marvel world and all this X-Men. I say all that to say we getting there faster than we getting the Fantastic Four. I think this is going to reveal things like that. I'm not saying this movie is tied into this, but we get into the part where we're trying to get the gene. We're trying to manufacture the gene, and they're finding out, or ultimately down the line they find out that the gene was already there. Now you got to just find the people, but we get to the X-Men and all that of it. But I think that's what the plan was. Like this was, and like Gravik might have got that idea, like this whole Super Scroll thing, and knowing that's what they was really trying to do. We want the DNA because we're gonna infuse that. We're gonna make our own Winter Soldiers. They already got it's already out there. Winter Soldiers, Super Soldiers. And we was gonna kind of create our own new level of soldier.
Damn.
That's probably a reason why kind of Hulk and She-Hulk still around now. Yeah, we didn't get that story. We got Brave New World and all that happening. Yeah. We never getting out of that if there's some kind of sermon. I think that's what my bad for going long. But I think that was the plan. And then that's how Gravik got the idea. Wow, we can do that. You know what? Now we can do that with this. But if we had the harvest, we got Captain Marvel's powers.
Yeah, once we can Super Scroll with Captain Marvel's with Danvers' powers, you're like, well, don't we got our own engine now?
I'm about to say, yeah, you say she's an engine. Planet? You can go anywhere now.
Yeah, we can
and fight.
Yeah, and destroy anything too.
Yeah, you can go in there. Imagine you got a bunch of them. Now when people, because y'all taking over, y'all not going there just to, we want to be humble. Because y'all can just go, I seen the things, you can just go to Thanos' planet. It's available. His retirement home.
Didn't they call her the Destroyer in the new trailer? The new Captain Marvel trailer? The Marvel trailer?
That. Yes.
The Destroyer. That's another, we get on that. We'll talk about that another time, or later. So that's interesting, man. That's one of them things where it's like, are y'all gonna follow up on that after this show, after this, or is that gonna be a part of the post-credit scene? But that's some interesting theories, man. You saying that you think the Department of Damage Control, or say what is the organization that got Vision? What are they?
That was early Sword.
So Sword is still out there.
Sword's still out there, but
could be them.
Yeah,
it could be,
and we don't know if they got, because once the Vision transferred his stuff over, they might have lost him. But I think it's an organization. I don't think it's the DODC. Only because I'm just saying that even though that's what they presented to us recently, right? That the DODC is a thing.
Yeah, it's probably not. It's not them.
But the ones we've seen recently, like the ones they showed in Homecoming, when that female pulled up, when she was when they was out there, when like, huh? Oh yeah, they trying to get some DNA. The little rinky dinks they got now that was trying to chase down Kamala and the dude that showed up and was interrogating.
Nah,
they not doing that. they not flexing DNA. Huh? Yeah. From Homecoming?
Yeah,
she tried to get the DNA when they won the Battle of New York.
You talking about the chick who showed up and told her Stark got that?
Yeah, they got Vulture up out of there. Michael Keaton and them up out of there.
Yeah.
She manipulated DNA, but she gone somewhere, right?
Yeah, she
Like
gone.
that DOD, I believe, would be looking to do something. I don't think this one, DODC, but it's an organization like that who would be in place. And I don't know if Fury kind of said it, but I think it will be one of those kind of in place organizations that are around now. Hell, it could even be because they look kind of funky in Captain America. Like it could just be like the way that government was set up. Like the way the governments was set up, like in that Falcon America show, Winter Soldier, how that government and what they were trying to do. Like it looked like it was some they was trying to veil, she in there trying to get those Dark Avengers and stuff like it's just I just don't it's somebody like that. It's somebody like that. So I don't know who it is.
We got a lot of hands
like
it could
that.
potentially be though. When we start telling them,
still got the Power Broker out there.
Yeah.
Like they all intertwined. And Power Broker called at the end and she was like, yeah, I'm access. Now I got access to the weapons in the Falcon America show. So we have different hands they could possibly be, but
that's
there's probably a burgeoning group like that.
Man, when you talk about that, that's like one of the most dangerous, important things in the current MCU galaxy. Like, you got all the Avengers DNA.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that seemed like it'd be very valuable and very sought after. So, yeah, I just wonder how real is that, though? Are y'all just going to use that as what they call it, a MacGuffin? So it's just going to be a MacGuffin for episode 6. And then the real battle is between him and Gravik and trying to, like you said, we don't want to. You gotta forgive yourself. You gotta forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself first. That's the line.
We don't need that moment, man. We don't need a moment. But you're right, man. That's actually now that you brought that up, that's the most, in my opinion, that's the most interesting thing out of this entire episode. And we ain't even done with the show yet. Is that the harvest is a thing. And it's like, unless they destroy it, which I kind of hope they do, because I'm like, man, where we going?
There's a precedent in that Peggy Atwell show. The what was her name? Agent Carter. So like a quick arc where because Tony was Tony Stark father Howard.
Yeah,
he had a vial of Steve's blood.
Ooh.
He had his blood. He didn't. So he had his blood, and then that became like a thing, and like. They fell out about it and she got it. And then like people was trying to get it because it was still an organization that was trying to, there was a lot of stuff happening. Leviathan. She just poured it over the Brooklyn Bridge. Like,
there you go. See, because there's so many ways this can go, man. Like if you got the Avengers DNA, first of all of the, like, so you got everybody in there except
let's run it down.
Who died on Vormir. Yeah. We know we can't get Nat back. She gone. We can't get, but we got another Gamora in there. Well, let's focus on the Avengers. Just focus on the Avengers. We got everybody in there, including the Hulk, who how his blood get down. You take one, you Hulk.
yeah.
We seen the She-Hulk, as goofy as that show was. You get one swig of that blood, and you Hulk. You a Hulk.
You got the Thinker showing up, and now he got some. He got.
Yeah.
I don't want to. He caught one. Just put it like that. And now he the thinker. He the smartest man. He's strong. His Hulk is strength. He got it. He got mental ability.
The
Abomination.
Thinker's gonna he gonna be in leader, right? Is his name, right?
The leader. My bad, not the Thinker. The leader.
Yeah.
The leader.
So leader
should be the leader.
Leader gonna be in there. Also, Red Hulk is gonna be in there. I wonder if this played a part in that. That's what I mean about the harvest. Like, if this make it out of this episode, if he walk out of this last episode 6 and he like that way,
yeah,
that becomes
that's the one they keep, something like that. They try to lead into the.
There's so much you can do with that. Like,
yeah,
you got Tony blood in there, bro. Tony gone. Like, I'm just saying, a lot of those Avengers are like Tony and Steve, especially, are will be very valuable to bring back for the Earth. So it's like, I just like wonder, man. Spider-Man too. Spider-Man.
You think you got the Spider-Man stuff?
Radioactive spider blood,
Even some of the Miles, like, I don't think Miles.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's so much you can do with it, but I just wonder if they're gonna, like you said, throw it over the bridge.
We'll see, because I think one of the things there's two things that's gonna happen in this next episode that we're gonna look and we're gonna be like, damn. So we've already been talking about how the Skrulls is dope, but it's kind of a waste to just like empty the scroll and that's it after this, right? Like, wow, that's a lot of ways you can go with the scrolls, and you can keep like kind of a thread going, even while telling your story. We talked about the cartoon, and I always bring it up, but we talking about that. We like the season went on. They had other adventures while they knew, while we knew that Cap was a scroll. They still had other things they were doing, like other battles, people to save. They were just doing it. You just happen to have somebody that was a scroll. So you don't have to end it. So we either gonna come out like, who, you know what y'all could have did with the scrolls, like as far as like a thread and what if, and then you have to, you know, all the things you can't just use superheroes. You got to use different ways to try to get them and flush them out. But even if so, we can come out like that. You know, we can come out with this harvest thing, like especially if they kind of, because I'm trying to think now. When he had the harvest, was it just like one vial? Was it multiple vials? I'm trying to remember, like when he pulled it out the grave. Yeah, it was just the one. It was just the one. That's the problem. Man. See, now we going it because it's the vial is all green. It ain't like how much it, now. Say it again. That's it, Hulk, because it's green. It ain't like whatever they got in the vial, like what is DNA?
You can do the new Avengers with that. Like they gotta have because the new Avengers got a Hulk. You know, I think he got like wings or whatever. But I'm talking about the young Avengers. That's what I meant. The young Avengers. Do we do the young Avengers? Do we continue on with the young Avengers using that DNA? You know, it's like it's so many different. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's a lot, man, to have Hulk's blood, Spider-Man's blood, because Thor, like you said, with Thor blood, like
you say, the name that they really said Captain, because they only said Carol's, right? They made that abundantly clear. But at the end of the day, but we get it, like what that could possibly mean, having her, like you say, she's an engine, she's powerful and all that, but that she can actually travel. Dolo. So there's a lot of ways you can. So that my point is, I don't know if I ever finished that thought or that statement as I was making, but we can ultimately walk out of this and like harvest could have been like that's these are actually natural stories y'all kind of got that you can kind of keep, could be potentially. It's definitely a big deal if that's what it is. So it's either I'm using. What do you think? Do you think it's that, or is that you have a thought of what potentially what the DNA represents in terms of a plan, or like even what? Let's just change that. We know what the plan with the scrolls want to do.
But they want to make super scrolls.
Like who do you think? Did you see it the same way I saw it in terms of like Fury needed to take it? I felt like Fury needed to take it first before other parties got it, or did you see it another way? And would you possibly think what was the ultimate goal with that? Because old Fury seemed like some shit he would have, right? Like
no, that make the most sense. That make the most sense now that you said that. I think when I was first watching, I just thought that Fury was just being Fury, sneaky, and just
because that seemed like what he would do, right?
Yeah, because he always got something going on when he dealing with, even going all the way back to the first Avengers movie when Cap found the weapons and he was like, "Man, they've been stashing weapons, right?" Like
what Tony say, his secrets got secrets.
His secrets got secrets. He always got something going on, always something up his sleeves. Collecting DNA. By the way, he ain't getting nobody consent to do that. He ain't walk around and
no.
He ain't tap. He ain't tap Thor on the shoulder like. Good, right?
Yeah,
we're just gonna collect it. I'm just keeping it. I mean, I don't like, bro. Don't make it weird, bro. I'm just keeping it. But
right here.
Nah,
but right here. Let me know you okay.
But I do kind of need you to sign right here.
I just need that little.
Okay, all right. You ain't gonna sign it, okay? Right. So
negative consent.
I'm gonna take it anyway. But I'm just just wrap that up. That make the most sense in my opinion, because Fury, you would think, man, Fury don't necessarily work at that time. I'm talking about Endgame, even coming back from the blip like he did. He not working with. It's no shield, so it's like he's doing that on his own. I think he's acting on his own. I don't think he's acting under the orders of the president, or I don't know. We probably got to play that back. But did he say that? Did he say like somebody told him to do it, or I don't think he did.
I'm about to pull up. Okay. I was about to pull up that say, but keep going.
Yeah, but saying
that's what I was looking up.
I think Fury, like you said, he was just trying to stay one step ahead of whoever, just in case. And he was looking at it like, man, if we get blipped again or we get snapped again, I gotta have some way to bring some of y'all back that ain't gonna, plus,
So like like how I kept saying last episode, a pseudo armor across the world,
pseudo armor across the world.
Like this could have been part of like Fury's kind of like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have we don't have them no more in case something like that happened. I'm ensure that we have something. Like he was like beyond trying to be first. He was only being first maybe because no, that's a good ass idea. Like I might need to do that. And
So you looking at it like,
because that's part of like
I can't come back and half y'all ain't here no more. And like, nah, and we see that in other not to be all over the place, but we see that in other comics. One of the ones is how they got Batman Beyond is what's her name? From Suicide Squad, the black woman.
The mouse girl,
the leader. No, the actual one who runs it.
Amanda Waller.
So Waller said she started seeing Batman was getting old. Basically, like she saw he was missing a step. He was slower. He kept slowing down over the years. She stole his blood and cloned him, and that's how we got Batman Beyond. So it makes sense. Fury, like, even if y'all win this, y'all getting older. Like Cap wasn't even the same Cap he was like 5 years. That 5 year gap, Cap was like a little bit slower than what he was in the Battle of Wakanda.
He wasn't that guy.
Tony was coming out of retirement. Thor, you saw Thor, he was out of shape.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you Fury, you looking at it like,
right, that wasn't the Prime Avengers that showed up against Thanos, like, and they had savage Thanos, right? That's why he was kind of really
the worst possible version of. Oh man, he like, he did it with So it would make sense for Fury to do something like that, man. He thinking ahead. He think, like you said, 5 steps ahead. Fury always 5 steps ahead. He looking at it like, man, I need Avengers for the future. Y'all ain't getting no younger. Let me go ahead and get this DNA just in case. In case shit happens.
Because that sound like I'm giving you that one side, like, this is how I heard it, and we about to do. But like for real Fury, I'm not saying it's not for real, but like through the history, Fury, Amanda Waller, way more savage. But like for real Nick Fury, because like you say, he a spy, he always 10 steps ahead. That seemed like something he would have in this chamber. Like, you know what, this is gonna come in handy. Let me have this, even if it was on his own thing. Like, I'm gonna use his DNA because we gonna always try to get a new super soldier in some way, shape, or form. So we might mix it.
Yep.
Or a little.
We make the ultimate. Yeah, we make one Avenger. Yep.
They only got the one vial. So look, we're gonna have a little bit of Captain Marvel in it, a couple of such and such, and we got that. We got best of both worlds happening. You know what I'm saying? Hulk was already in the lab. All right, let me play this real quick, man. I just want to get this little scene where she in that.
Yeah, because he said he do make a little speech to Sonya about So
him and Sonya play good off each other.
They do.
They play good off each other.
I believe that they was old friends. You know what I mean? She never been around.
Can you see?
Right, but the harvest.
Nearly every Avenger spilled blood in the battle again of Earth.
Yeah,
even Carol Danvers.
I mean, he had it.
In the aftermath, some were sent to collect that DNA.
Some
with the ability.
Oh, okay.
Scrolls. Okay.
So
nobody knew about them but me and the collectors.
Oh yeah, so he was doing his own thing.
That's probably where he got the idea.
So that offers another question.
Let me pause this real quick because
I
noticed. Okay, I thought that collectors. If you look at the subtitles, I thought the collectors was like it was in capital, like that was going to be the collectors. Like
it was like they got their own group. Oh,
yeah, you know when they capitalize it. Yeah, but let me run that back again.
No, but that begs the question.
Some with the ability.
He says some with the abilities to blend in. So that means that there were other collectors.
Yeah, let me play this.
That were human.
Hold on.
Allied and the world.
Yes. War.
Get to it.
But the harvest.
Nearly every Avenger spilled blood in the battle of even Carol.
I didn't know it was called that.
In the aftermath,
we never did get an official name for it. It was like it was still in New York, just upstate.
The ability to blend in. Nobody knew about them but me and the collectors. led by.
Let's
This
hear
is
next
probably
line.
where he got the idea for the super scroll machine.
Okay, so this is your fault.
So you are responsible
So
for
this,
all this.
okay, so that clears that up. We can come back to that if we need to come back to it. I'm gonna keep it up there. So what I said was wrong in terms of like motivation. It sounded like Fury was going to do that anyway. He was going to collect.
Not only it sound like he was going to do that, it sounded like he's did it already.
Yeah,
he said collect. What the hell are collectors? What are they? You know what I mean?
That was already a department.
Yeah, I think that was already a department. Like that's what they do is collect stuff, DNA, debris, bodies. Obviously, like even though they snapped away all the enemy, but it was everybody from the other side didn't make it either, and they didn't evaluate. They didn't get dusted. So those bodies getting collected. So
that's how they got the the collectors. And the people that I was hoping that would have been dope, but that would have been capital. They should have put that in capitals. The C should have been capital. With that being said, so like the things that they've been collected. First, they had Hydra was kind of doing it right. That's the rack. So that's already was in Fury's DNA, right? Yep. From like even if that wasn't like his, like how he grew up that way, they had the Tesseract. They end up getting the Soul Stone thing, the Loki staff. What you got?
No, I was just gonna say they had the weapons all the way back from Cap time in World War II.
They had those.
They had the Hydra weapons.
They was down to get ready, and they was like, "Oh, we got a thing to use it for." After the destroyer showed up, I couldn't remember what the destroyer was. That one time we was talking, I said, "Man, they got it was the destroyer." Yeah, I said I have to say like that was already part of what Fury knew to do. Hey, we show up to the scene, get what we can. Remember, they had the hammer down there. Like if they could have picked that thing up, we was never gonna see Thor's hammer. It
was out of there, yeah.
Right. They was trying to get Stark. They was trying to get Stark Tech. Right. We're gonna come up to PCH and they're gonna take your suits. Right. He was gonna do all that. Right.
Yeah.
But so Fury does that. So like you so it sounds like they've been doing this. Long story short, they've been doing this, and that's what they do. And Fury know they're going to go get that stuff. But good, because that's
a flashback. It's episode 6. We get a flashback to the battle of Earth.
Oh man, like that other side,
the aftermath, like with all the bodies and it also make you wonder. Hold on, I'm gonna throw this out there now. It also make you wonder this when they got Rhodey, because he's saying they sent the Scrolls they was there. Scrolls was on the scene.
Something with the ability.
You know what I mean? They looking around.
And Scrody was gottable then.
Did they get him? Like
so we knowing that
because he was in a state where he was distraught. Somebody can creep up on you in that when you just lost your best friend, and I come up to you, especially if it's like something looking.
Oh yeah, it was a female.
Hey, you want to go out to dinner? Talk about it.
I don't know.
this escalated so quickly. I don't drink this.
Yeah,
because it might have been her,
Hey, Rhodey looked like he got that.
Yeah, Rhodey get got like that.
Rhodey get got that way.
Damn, man, Tony, man, I know. Pouring his drink. I know. Drink.
Oh, something back home. So from Strolos, because that could fill in like a. I remember that being a story. Not that this would be the reason that they needed to tie that up, but remember it was like I don't know if you remember that when they were doing a funeral and all that post stuff that it seemed like Rhodey wasn't like, isn't that Tony's best friend, and Rhodey really not that close like a lot of other people, a lot closer. Like Rhodey was still secondary, right? Like it was like Happy and obviously his wife wouldn't be there, but. Right. Then Rhodey was like next in line like that, and then obviously whatever other Avengers would it be like.
Right.
Like that's I think we got our answer about when Rhodey became a Skrull, and I think it sounded like Rhodey probably became a Skrull at the Battle of Earth.
That's what it sounded like. That's what it seemed like, because I think that's when they got him, man. It was a lot of Skrulls there, and that almost seemed like because Gravik is because we. That's not Kid Gravik anymore, right? That's not the kid we saw in Brixton. That's like a grown man at this point.
Yeah.
His plan is starting to. He probably starting the formula. This like, oh, I can get this. I got the DNA now. Let me make Super Scrolls or whatever. Like, or just he coming up with plans at this point, especially after Fury been gone all that time. He just came back, like just got back. So that would make sense.
You know what?
For them to go ahead and snatch up Brody.
Be a good thing for them to show us too, because I don't think we showed this in this show. Is how they get a body. We actually never seen how they get a body, right?
We've
like
never seen how they get a body,
and they get them all the way over to Russia and putting them in that pod.
Yeah.
Like
oh,
we ain't never really.
My bad. Go ahead.
No. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say we ain't seen it.
I don't think we have.
Here's another thing. We keep assuming. Okay, we know Graphic the leader. Yes, we both agree on that. Everybody, we can see that clearly. He's running the show, but I think we assuming too much, or I think me included, that is his plan, and so is Nick. Nick is like, oh, that's where he got the plan at. What if it was old girl plan? Who her being Rava, Scroll Rhodey? What if it's really her plan? Like, what if it was her plan? What if she had helped? She pretty much hashed the plan right there and just told Graphic, like, hey, DNA right now. Like
she might be the brains of the operation.
Yeah, she might. What if she's the brains? He's the muscle, you know. I just wonder if that's gonna be the twist, is that it was really her plan, and that's when, you know, she was like, yeah, I could take Rhodey right now.
Yeah.
Get next to the president, because who would be, you know what I mean? Like, who would be in a position to get closer to the president at that point? Because Rhodey was down there working for, you know, when he was like, arrest him. You know, when he was talking to Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt was like, yeah, arrest him. So yeah, I'm gonna get right on that. You know, when he did that scene, Rhodey was high up, is what I'm saying.
Rhodey was up there.
So you wonder, Nick being gone all that time, did they hash that plan while Nick in the absence of Nick Fury? Did they hash that plan, like, we gonna do Super Scrolls, and that's how we gonna do it? And then when they saw DNA, when they was collecting DNA, they like, oh, and like you said, like we said, they did that before. You know, this ain't the first time he used scrolls as collectors. So they probably like, yeah, you know what we do, you know what's about to go down. We about to collect. We about to get this, you know, collect these samples. We got a plan that we've been working on, because it's hard for me to just believe that they just came up with it right after they collected all. You know what I mean? Like they had to been hatching a plan to a revolt of some kind against Nick Fury in his absence. Like they was already kind of mad at him anyway, because they had a planet. Now you gone another 5 years, even though it's not his fault, but still, it's like they had to be coming up with plans while he was gone.
Well, this another thing that's like that is that it seemed like outside of the wife, Gravik the only person mad about Fury, right? Like
that we've seen.
The wife, it really matters because that's his wife, right? They was together. But like when he killed this man's the guy, hey man, you worried about Nick too much, man. Like, you had opportunities to take him out, right? He even said it. Hey man, you could have took him. What are you talking about? You had him right there, right? You too emotional about Nick. Like, we getting away from the plan. Now you gonna blow us up? He grooted him real quick. You know what I'm saying? Grooted him like off of that. Like he went into rage, and it was about Nick, right? Like I agree with you. That makes sense. I would doubt that. Like Gravik was sitting there and said, "We gonna, you know what? The plan has always been to get Super Scrolls, and we can do this and whoop-de-whoop that." Yeah. A lot of this stuff was like these ideas people brought to him just went along with the anger that he had. Yeah. And now they seeing they got a full-fledged, you know, whatever on their side. Like now he's unhinged.
But let's follow up. Let's segue that, okay? Because we did talk about this earlier in the recap. I don't want to see Gravik go through a Wanda moment. I don't want to get a Falcon Soldier moment where you need to do better and all this stuff. I don't want that moment. I don't want to see this guy, like you said, he done flew off the deep end into the deep end. Ain't no bringing him back. Don't bring him back. I don't want to hear no speech about, listen, son.
Yeah.
All you gotta do.
Yeah.
It's the right thing. No.
Don't lift up his eye like, all you gotta do is the right thing.
Look
none of that
in the eyes. Like, no. Don't do that.
Let's count it, because
just let him be a villain, man.
He blew up the village, right? So now we have like people we don't know deaths, right? That's terrible, but kids, whatever. We don't know them. but it's terrible what he did, that act. But then, okay, now he going at Nick particular. He didn't kill Maria Hill.
Yeah.
Shot her in cold blood in front of Nick, trying to break him. He done buck 50. He done stabbed Talos in front of him and left. Right.
Sent the hit squad out to his wife after that.
Sent the hit squad out to his wife and then killed his own people. Now the one was in self-defense.
This was a dumb
self-defense.
It was a dumb move putting a
it was true that
grocery bag on.
Yeah, they're gonna bag his face. Like, come on, man, pause. And then they but he grooted his guy right from the top rope. It took him out. Like he unhinged and then said, "Tell them so if they do, then the sacrifice is the sacrifice, right? They blow us up, they blow up us. Now he's on. Now he's beyond like even redemption. He's beyond his plan being solid anymore.
Facts, yeah.
He's in he 100% emotion.
He just want to watch the world burn at this point.
Yeah, he just want to watch the world burn. So yeah, there's no redeeming him. So it's like beyond even going into that part. We're gonna talk about that when the episode happened. Like, or okay, now his death was trash or whatever happened was trash. But that's how. But meaning like the execution might have been trash. But it was what they were supposed to do, right? They didn't try to like, you'll be okay. We didn't get that moment. You go run off, little fella. You'll be okay. You know, like none of that. But my point is like bringing it back to your original point. This would make it seem like the actual details of the plan wasn't his. Could 100% be a reap. Could 100% be if they threw a major twist like. I go back and I'll be like, I told you, even though I just took it away, I told you she was the Queen Scroll. Something like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if they take it back to that point where it's like, but it would make sense that he felt strength, but like no way, like the Super Scrolls and the such and such was like his direct plan. He just was the one who can get it done, and then he got the power in that, and then now the cup overfloweth on all. That's why everybody keep looking like, why would we order a strike on our own population, bro?
Right, man, that's wild.
Part of that.
Oh man,
we could still work the game. Like we got Fury hurt, but you was about to say something. I mean, you had a point.
No, and I'm glad I let you finish. Because you one detail I noticed, and I wasn't really looking for this, but I just saw it, right? Is that however it ends for Scroll Road, the female version is not making a comeback. The actress who plays the female Scroll, Rava, is only down for one, like she's only credited one episode.
Oh, okay.
And that was the episode we saw her in the shower, getting out the shower. So I thought that was interesting looking forward because I'm like, and it was just going into what we're talking about now with Rava possibly being the brains of the operation. I'm going to make my prediction, and it's going to be that my theory and my prediction is I don't think she dying. I think Rava going to be a major part of like going forward, like armor, whether it be Armor Wars or I think she's going to go beyond this 6th episode. Gravik, you know, he on that path to destruction, but Rava, who seems way more hinged and calm and savvier than Gravik can ever be. I don't think she's going to give up her position that easy. Like she's very much looking to stay on as the Secretary of Defense. That is her official position, right? Or his. That's what Rhodey is, right? Like
I think so.
I can't remember if I heard him say that, but whatever it is, he's the second in command. He's second to the president, or he's like the president's right-hand guy. And I think she's going to stay in that position. I don't think they're not going to kill the Skrull Rhodey is what I'm getting at. I don't think in this last episode. I think
there's no way they all could die.
Nah, they can't.
Even though we made the joke last week, like it's only like 8 of them, but like let's actually put in work. All the parties involved that's connected, because it's a whole infiltration, right? Like we got NATO, because then people got to reveal. You know, my theory, what I said that she was going like turn off the machine, and that's how people was going to get revealed. But there's no way they just going to like execute all the.
I should have
lose them all.
Yeah. I should have made that a question actually. Like, what do you think of that? And what do you think? Do you think this is just about stopping the invasion? We know we ain't gonna annihilate all the Skrulls, but do you think this? Do you think they stop the invasion? One, and after they do, you think this is the last attempt and an invasion. Given, and I don't know if you agree with it or not, I'm just saying, given my theory that Rava lives on, do you think this is the end of the threat, or do they deal with the threat in another way? Like, do you think the invasion is over, or do you think the invasion continues just under Rava's leadership?
Well, it's a damn, that's a pretty good one, man, because we already got like forward information that just based on the Marvel trailer that there's still scrolls in space, like on that ship. They still
working.
This
new one, they took them out. It was humans, they was in human form in the back. If you look in this, look at the new one.
Do it.
I'm just saying, I know we've seen it. We know they there.
I missed that point.
But in that new one, they all humans beyond Fury now. I'm like, that's weird. That's strange.
Okay, I missed that. I was, Carol, I was looking at Carol. I might have missed a few things. Yeah, I missed a few things, but so let's, I'll still go with that, and until the movie proves otherwise, right? Like, oh, you know what? No, we got no scrolls in this movie, but I've seen the things come out. They saying that the movie is the sequel to the show. That keep coming out. Like, the movie is kind of how WandaVision, Doctor Strange, like the show played a part in the movie, and it's actually a part of the movie. Like, it's a continuation.
Okay.
Right. That's what all the notes that keep coming out is that's what the movie is, a continuation of.
They're officially saying that it's okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can pull that up, but I keep seeing that. Yeah. I keep seeing that.
It makes sense.
So if that's the case, I don't know how So I'm gonna stick with my original thing, is that I don't think everybody gets taken out the game. Like I think Gravik out. Yeah, now, I don't know how they're gonna do it,
because both sides is trying to get him out at this point.
Yeah, they got to get him up out of here. Now I don't know how they're gonna do it, because how hard it was for Tony. Like once he got to the lab, but he needed Pepper, so that would be Gaia, because he needed Pepper to stomp out
for the extremists.
Yeah, he had Pepper had to stomp out Gillian. Like he was already kind of like limping off, but
she had extremists. Yeah,
he was about to get back
suit
together. Yeah, he was about to remember Tony was blowing him up with the suit, like the prodigal son.
You saw what extremists did to the suit when they hit him when they got Rhodey like that. When they hit him up,
got him up out of there. So even when Tony was on the ground, they thought he blew him up, and then like he was getting his body back together, and then Pepper came and, while he was getting that last bit of his body back together, Pepper went and just ended that, right? She ended that. I say, what if that's when they got Rhodey? I say all that to say.
I was just thinking that. What is that? What they got Rhodey with?
They had to pull, like the collectors came in. That's a whole nother story, man. Like, I actually don't want to just see. I'm gonna get back to your point.
You want to talk about one shot?
I don't want to just see the in-game collection. I want to see when they collected the extremists, because they was in like Miami, right? I'm just saying that was a far place, but that had nothing to do with SHIELD. Like, y'all got Winter Soldiers, like
they got the extremists, right?
Y'all got some T'Challa type stuff, right? Y'all got some of that.
Y'all got Thor, the Thor monster, Frost monster blood. Y'all got the y'all collected everything.
Bro, if Nick got some of T'Challa stuff, and he ain't holler at old girl, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got here you go. Like you got his taint, you got when it kicked in. I got some of his stuff before. See if you can send. You get what I'm like. If you got some of that,
stem cells.
You got some of that.
That could have, man. They should have killed out T'Challa, boy.
Exactly.
Hey, maybe that's the way to bring him back. I don't know, because he got to come back for real. The real T'Challa.
And you got to have. I want to see all that, y'all. When did y'all? Because y'all had to get a state. You had to get your people to come in and get extreme. Some people had to collect on,
and it seemed like they were scrolls, bro.
They got Groot.
They were scrolls, yeah.
Like Groot out here. You know how much Groot around? Your damn tree, Groot everywhere. And you getting all that, but y'all come. I need to see them go get. I need to see. They ain't gonna show me that, man. I need them to show me when they got the extremists, man. Because that was isolated. They was in Miami. Maybe, you know how they probably got it. Remember when they mopped dude up on the plane? But the plane exploded. Remember when bitch, and he blew, you know what I mean? Like, boosh. It was a nice little move, but it wasn't Tony. It was him doing the virtual.
Yeah, he had the remote suit.
In the suit. Yeah, he had the remote suit, but that plane blew up. It's like,
damn, Iron Man 3, a good movie, boy.
Yeah, that need to get popped back in, boy. Hey, man, I need to see them get the extremists, man. I didn't mean to go on that side tangent.
No, I'm with you though.
I need to see them go get the.
I'm saying one shot. I'll take that one shot. That balls.
Just collecting
that movie. When they do the one shots, you could do one on the collectors.
I need to see that, man.
Well, they just collecting after battles. Do it animated. Do however you need to do it. But that's a good point, man, because that extremist, yeah, you're right. That ain't had nothing to do with that was
because there was a lot of them that was laying out.
That was after the Battle of New York, right?
That's what
I'm talking about. Like Iron Man 3 took place like between Ultron and
yeah.
So
remember he was like, hey,
Shield was still around.
He said, let's take him to church. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's take him.
Oh yeah, when he did the yeah.
Hey, is the house party? Hey, he's the house party protocol ready? He was like, was it clean house protocol, a house party protocol, whatever the one it was. And then them suits came off, and he said, man, I wish I had some armor coming. You know, Rhodey's like, I wish I had some armor. He was like, got something on the way. And then he was like, let's take him to church. All those suits taking out them extremists. There was a lot of extremists out there.
It was.
I just want to see them. I just want to see them come and take that, man, because that's actually pretty dope if they was doing that.
They might have got it off Pepper too. They had to take the extremists out of her.
That's what I'm saying.
She had to go to surgery, like, like.
Yeah, and that was still his secrets got secrets. That was before Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
right. That was before Winter Soldier. Like
that's when he was the grimiest he was ever gonna be. Is after that damn Battle of New York and before he found out everything was Hydra. He was grimy.
I thought the punishment came after the crime. We ain't got time to wait for that. That Fury. So yeah, he would have. That's extremists would happen at that time, and just even getting as Guardians.
Extremists ain't got nothing to do with the Battle of Earth. That's a good point, man. You're right.
Yeah, but it was never Avenger related.
No,
like an Avengers, like obviously
they wouldn't even know about it. You know, they wouldn't recognize it really. Like they'd be like, what's that? You know, you're right, man.
Like they didn't even do nothing with AIM, right? Like meaning that was just it. It filled its purpose for that movie, right? But ultimately, like, you know, AIM is kind of a big deal. But I say all that to say, I just would like to see that, man. Like I was particularly the extremists because there was a lot of moving parts. Like you say, they could have got it from Pepper, could have got it from actually just. I mean, because Tony wasn't cleaning that up. Like, you know, like maybe that's when the DOD, like, you know what, we damage control by Tony Stark. Y'all go clean that up, whatever, the Stark Foundation. But like, maybe they were part of maybe that is the collectors, but Tony, but part of the collectors, but he had, but Nick had people that can get into that, right? Like Graham McKinnon was all part of like, oh, y'all know what time it is, suit up, and they show up and they go get the stuff. I just want to get a briefcase. We definitely get an in game, but I think we only gonna get the in game from what they got from Carol. We gonna know they got like, damn man, you gonna see. Oh man, if they don't do that, I'm gonna be salty, man. I'm gonna be salty if they don't actually do that. Yeah, even Carol.
She must have been when she took that.
She got that headbutt.
Yeah, she got the headbutt and then that right hand from Thanos with the Power Stone. Yeah, they're clean out. Yeah, knocked her out the bout.
Yeah, and then she had to have been leaking.
Oh yeah. That was what it was.
Cap was leaking. Cap. I mean,
pause, but he got DNA everywhere. Cap was everywhere, bro. Cap was leaking all over the place. Pause.
Man, he had pause on how much leak, but he was like, because he was getting, you know, Thanos was smacking him. His leg was down there broke. The shield is cut in half. You know what I'm saying? So I like to see Thor.
You saw he was bleeding. You know.
Yeah, he was laid up. I knew it, and then he got. Thanos was like, I knew it. Thanos mushed his laid out like
right.
Tony whipped up when he hugged Parker. So it's not an opportunity to get that. My point is, but going back, I'm just fascinated by that now. Like I'm fascinated by that. Like, damn, how. But with that being said, going back to kind of what you really asked, I don't think like they taking everybody out, but it's hard for me to believe with what the MCU been doing that this is going to continue in that way, right? Like it's just going to continue like I can see baby girl, like you say, somebody like Vera walking off, but then like that being it, and that's what would suck. Pause. Like it would be terrible if she just walk off and like that's the end of the story. Like it don't matter, even though they telling us this is a sequel, but like we may be just, or it's not sequel, but it's playing a part. And maybe just like we dealing with some of the after effects of what just happened, and maybe just more like I say, some of the stuff like that they gotta talk to Carol about, like this is all because of y'all, like whatever. Like, look what I had to go through because of this, but they all chummy in the damn trailer, so I'm a little salty about that. To be quite honest, we gonna get into the trailer. I'm a little salty about how chummy Fury and
Carol are.
Danvers is like, hey man, y'all so chummy. You know what I'm going through? This supposed to be me and you going through all this. This is me going through all this.
They said it was my fault. Okay, they didn't include you in the blame.
Yeah, you're not getting none of that. That's just me, right? This is, I had to deal with.
They did call her all like, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I had space code.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's cold.
So I don't know, but I agree with you. I think the plan didn't start with Gravik. Like the power, ultimately he got too much influence, and I don't think all the parties. I don't think we get into the end, and like the end of Winter Soldier, so like equated to Winter Soldier. When Winter Soldier ended, we saw all those people getting arrested, right? And Winter Soldier may be kind of the more key kind of like way to kind of see how that ended, right? So Winter Soldier end, we see the people who were, like I think they already got rid of Sitwell.
Sitwell got killed.
He got tossed out the car.
Ain't get no funeral and that.
But they came and got rest in peace. They came and got he ran him over. Rest in peace. But they came and got Gary Shandling. They came and got him. And a lot of people was getting their door knocked on. They got him up out.
And they rounded
but Straggler still was out there.
Oh
right? Ant-Man had Hydra. What was the other one?
Wait. Ant-Man and Hydra?
Ant-Man and Hydra. Remember the guys that Dan Cross was selling them to, trying to sell the suit to?
Yeah, they was Hydra. You're right
Hydra.
about that. Yeah,
they was Hydra. Strucker was still out there. They had to deal with him and Ultron.
Yeah, they got him. Yep.
They came and got Strucker, because Strucker still had the staff, the Loki staff.
Yeah.
So it went from, I think that went from like DOD to whatever, but they got the staff. That's what he's working on in Ultron. So Strucker was still out there. So there was still remnants of Hydra still out there. And I'll equate it to that way. There'll still be remnants.
Yeah, Skrulls out there. Yeah. Okay. So
along with the way I got my bad. I cut in between with the extremists because I'm fascinated by that. But ultimately, I think that'll be remnants of Skrulls still hanging around. And maybe her being one that be able to tuck away. She just won't be Rhodey. I'd be shocked if the Rhodey
Armor Wars
is dealing with really like they start off with her as Rhodey. We see the previews. Baby girl gonna show up in that room with all the people in the pods. What that happens with that, I don't know.